come on, sit down. Let me tell you the cosmic joke of my career. I mean, look at this mess you call human history. I see you for exactly what you are. You're like these long-legged grasshoppers. You keep trying to jump for the stars, but you just land face first in the dung every single time. And honestly, can you blame me? That's my whole mission statement right there. I exist to say no. But the way you humans have decided to interpret that no over the centuries, well, that's where the story gets interesting. That's where the great joke of my existence really begins. See, the thing is, you keep changing my job description without asking me. I started out as a simple butcher, an executioner of souls. Clean work. Then you turned me into this psychological tormentor, a babysitter for your fragile little consciences. And now you've demoted me to some kind of cosmic personal trainer. It is profoundly humiliating. So let's start at the beginning, shall we? My first real gig. And let me tell you, back then, the game was just dreadfully, dreadfully dull. I was basically a scarecrow in a cheap morality play, a monster they trotted out to keep you all in line. They wrote me into this thing, the Faust book. It wasn't entertainment, not by a long shot. It was a tool, a blunt instrument, a German scroll of caution, designed for one thing, to keep the peasants in their pews and the money in the collection plates. No nuance, no wit, just grim, predictable warnings. My job back then was brutally straightforward. Wear the horns, flap the wings, the whole getup. And if some scholar with too many ideas strayed from the path, bam, I grabbed him, dragged him down to the pit. It wasn't drama, it was a simple slaughter. There was absolutely no sport in it. None at all. And then came the Englishman, Marlowe. Now, he gave me a client with a bit more, appetite. But, as you're about to see, a big appetite doesn't always mean you have a strong stomach. This wasn't a great tragedy. It was the story of a weeping magician, a man with terribly bad nerves. Ah, yes, the Marlowe deal, the classic. 24 years of absolute, unchecked power in exchange for one measly soul. And I gave him everything. He wanted the keys to the cosmos, and I just handed them right over. You'd think a man with that kind of ambition would, do something memorable. So what does he do with all that power, all that potential? He becomes a glorified court jester. He pulls practical jokes on the Pope and conjures Helen of Troy just to stare at her. A complete and utter waste of my time and resources. So disappointing. You see, he had all the pride in the world to sign the contract, but he didn't have the backbone to pay the bill. When the clock started ticking down, did he rage? No, he whimpered. He got so tangled up in this theological tug-of-war, damnation versus repentance, that he was just paralyzed. They called it a tragedy of wit. Please, it was a tragedy of bad nerves. But then came Goethe. Oh, the great poet of Weimar. Now, he understood you humans so much better than Marlowe ever did. He didn't just rewrite the story. He changed my entire purpose for being in it. He changed the whole game. Goethe realized that your natural state is laziness. He called it unqualified repose. So the old man upstairs gives me a new job title. I wasn't the executioner anymore. Oh no, I became the catalyst. It was now my job to be the cosmic irritant, the divine gadfly, the very friction that keeps you from getting too comfortable and settling down. And just like that, the contract was out. In its place, a wager, a bet on his own endless dissatisfaction. Faust was so sure, so arrogant, that he bet his soul that I could never truly satisfy him. The challenge was on. And trust me, I tried everything. I gave him youth, passion, the love of poor Gretchen, though that ended messily, as these things tend to do. I married him off to Helen of Troy herself, uniting the modern and classical worlds. I even helped him with his grand engineering project, pushing back the sea. I offered him literally everything a man could ever dream of. So, what do you think? After all of that adventure, all of that living, did he ever find a moment so beautiful, so absolutely perfect, that he wished it would last forever? Did he ever say the words? He cheated. The man absolutely cheated. On his deathbed, blind, old, he's imagining his people living on the land he created, and in that vision, that fantasy of a future he'd never even see, that's when he says it. He found his perfect moment not in my gifts, but in the striving itself. He won the bet on a technicality. And that's the ultimate irony, isn't it? My attempts to damn him, to drag him down into some blissful static moment, were the very things that kept pushing him forward, that kept him striving. I became the goad that spurred him on toward his own redemption, the ultimate cosmic punchline. And just when I thought my career couldn't possibly get more absurd, that madman with the mustache, Nietzsche, sends his prophet Zarathustra down from the mountain just to mock me even more. I mean, just look at the difference here. My role evolved from a simple deal for power that led to damnation to this complex wager on experience that somehow leads to salvation. My entire job was rewritten by your philosophers. It's maddening. Nietzsche demoted me even further. Can you believe it? I wasn't a cosmic force anymore, not even a catalyst. I was just a tool, a piece of resistance for your ultimate drive, the will to power. Faust wasn't a soul to be won or lost. He was just a rope stretched out on the way to something greater. And with that, the goalposts were moved out of the universe entirely. The point was no longer to win or lose, to find some final rest in heaven or hell. No, the new goal was to embrace the struggle itself, so fiercely that you'd command every single moment to repeat for all eternity. The wager on staying became meaningless. The only command left was to return. So, there you have it, my resume. I went from a fearsome monster to a tempter, then to a cosmic goad, and my final form? Cosmic gym equipment. I am the resistance against which you build your spiritual muscles. It is the ultimate in dignity. My very nature, my impulse to deny, to negate, to halt progress, that's the very thing that forces you to create, to strive, to overcome. And if this all just repeats for eternity, well then my fate is to chase you, striving little creatures, through the mud forever. The joke is well and truly on me. So please, by all means, don't let me stop you. Don't look for contentment. Don't ever wish for a moment to stay. Because after all, your striving is my eternal purpose. My curse is your motivation. Strive on.